What's up, guys? Welcome to Touchdown Talk, where everything and anything football goes. I'm your host, Jason, and today we're going to basically be recapping Wednesday's news. We had a bunch of crucial news points, so we're going to be recapping all of Wednesday news, and we're going to get right back in the schedule right at early next week with our usual Monday, Wednesday, and Friday episodes, along with a new series on the show, and that is going to be my season predictions for all 32 teams, and it will be run the same way I did my offensive and defensive weapons. But before we get into Wednesday news, I want to send a huge congratulations to one of my favorite NFL media guys, and that is Kyle Brandt from Good Morning Football. He announced that he has a new show coming out on all media platforms, along with YouTube and ESPN, along with all your podcast platforms, wherever you get your podcast, and that is Kyle Brandt's Basement. Now, this is going to be huge for Kyle Brandt. Love seeing him on Good Morning Football, rocking the Angry Runs t-shirt. Kyle Brandt has Angry Runs every Tuesday on Good Morning Football during the season. Now we're going to be getting Kyle Brandt Monday through Friday, along with Sunday nights, he announced. Now, Sunday nights, he announced on the Pat McAfee show that he will be doing what he's going to be doing instead of Sunday Night in America on NBC before the night game. Right after the second window games, Kyle Brandt's going to go live and do his show between the 4:30 games and the night game, right after the 4:30 games, before the night game kicks off, recapping the games in his perspective, in his own way. And I'm going to enjoy watching that so much. Love Kyle Brandt. A huge congratulations to Kyle Brandt. I'm looking forward to watching his show every single day and Sunday nights. But let's get into what this episode is, and that is our news for today, which was Wednesday when this video was recorded. Now, for Wednesday, we had news on Tyrann Mathieu. Now, he did return to the team at their facility, and this came 2 days after he left the team for personal issues. So it does look like he was able to take care of what he needed to now that he's back home in New Orleans. So it was remotely close to where he was, I would assume. Now he took care of it, so he's back with the team. Hopefully, wishing all the best for Tyrann Mathieu and his family, whatever he had to take care of. Hopefully, everything's good for Tyrann Mathieu. And then we had some news with the Lions, and that is that Quintez Cephus, who was helped off the field on Tuesday with a leg injury, will be down and I quote, will be down for we feel like a short period of time, but I think he's going to be okay. Now, that was said by head coach Dan Campbell, this per Adam Schefter. So hopefully Quintez Cephus can get back onto the field, but it does look like he will be missing a few weeks because of this leg injury. Not a lot of details on it yet, but hopefully all wishing the best for Quintez Cephus. Hopefully he can get a healthy and quick recovery so he can get back on the field for those Detroit Lions, who are kind of a bit of an underdog this year, kind of a dark horse candidate with the additions that they made on the team. They added DJ Chark. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown there. Quintez Cephus was also a receiver there. They have TJ Hawkinson at tight end. Defense is young and improving, so maybe a little bit of a dark horse candidate in that NFC North for the Detroit Lions. Now, moving on to the Houston Texans, they signed wide receiver Chester Rogers. Now, Chester Rogers previously was with the Titans and the Colts, staying in that AFC South, and now going to go to his third team in the AFC South, which is the Houston Texans. So now he just needs to go to Jacksonville, make it a full division player. But for now, he's going to be with the Houston Texans. Maybe he'll go to Jacksonville next year in a couple of years and continue to go throughout that entire division and finish off with all four teams. But for now, Houston gets an additional receiver. Houston's in a bit of a rebuild process. They're going to try to figure out who they are and what they are. And with the trade with Deshaun Watson, which we'll get to later on with Deshaun Watson, but with the trade with all they got for him, hopefully Houston can figure out what they want to do with their franchise going forward. Now, another young player, and staying with the AFC, that is Malik Willis. Now, Malik Willis believes that he's seen an advancement in what he's been able to do in his abilities. Now, he did say, and I quote, "I'm light years ahead of where I was, but that's just where my coaches and dedicating my time to study the situation. That's everything regarding my job description. Operating the huddle, operating the line of scrimmage, all the plays and being comfortable with them all of the above. I've learned the importance of timing and how it affects the whole play." Now, he said this according to Jim Wyatt on the Tennessee Titans team website. Now, this was said by Willis on Tuesday, reported. So this news did come out on Tuesday night. But since I'm recapping Wednesday, might as well just add in what we got on Tuesday night, which came pretty late in the night. So I'm just going to throw it in here. And Malik Willis, like he said, I think that Malik Willis has a good chance of being a good player in the NFL. Now, he is going to compete and battle with Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, obviously the day one starter. They're not just going to replace him right away. They did draft Malik Willis in the later rounds of the draft. So we'll see what comes of it. Maybe by midweek, maybe by mid-season, Malik Willis might be able to come in. But I'm looking forward to seeing him in preseason and seeing what he gets on the field. That's really where we're going to see the first glimpse of him on the field in action, live game. Now, obviously, he's not against the starters. He's not going to have these starters on the team with him. But if he could show glimpses, maybe if Tannehill struggles, we will see Malik Willis sometime this season. Now, a bit of more serious news now. And that is that Marquise Brown was arrested and charged with criminal speeding on Wednesday morning. Now, the Arizona Department of Safety spokesperson Bart Graves confirmed that Brown was arrested at 7:05 a.m. in North Phoenix and booked in the Maricopa County Jail. So Marquise Brown arrested for speeding, and this says that he was arrested at 7:05 a.m., so really early in the morning. A lot of news surrounding Marquise Brown right now and the Arizona Cardinals. Just a lot of drama down there in Arizona. Now we saw Kyler Murray fix his situation, finally getting a contract. But now with Hollywood Brown, who was traded on draft day from the Baltimore Ravens, now arrested, we will be able to see what comes of this. Maybe Marquise Brown can get back together and get back with the team. We'll see what comes of this. We'll see if he gets released. And I will update you guys along with my next episode when I get more news about Marquise Hollywood Brown. And then what we have now is the Deshaun Watson situation. Now, yes, this is a very serious situation. I've said this on multiple occasions, on multiple episodes when talking about Deshaun Watson and the situation surrounding him and the 24 lawsuits that were filed against him. Now, on Monday, we got the news that I spoke about in my episode that Deshaun Watson got a 6-game suspension. And I did mention that that was a little low on my standards, especially when the NFL wanted a full year minimum. So I did think that that was a bit extremely low. And I do think that he should be getting at least a year like the NFL wanted. And speaking of what the NFL wanted, they are appealing the verdict. Now, this did come about because it was a little bit confusing, but it was broken down on the NFL Network. But I do believe Tom Pelissero broke it down, along with Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo. Those three have been covering it all throughout the situation. So what I did hear was that the NFL and the NFLPA, as I mentioned in my Monday episode, I will link that down below for you guys. But as I mentioned, that with the situation, the NFL and the NFLPA came together as a joint agreement to get a third-party judge to rule in the situation. So what this means is basically by the NFL appealing this situation is basically the NFL going back on their agreement with the NFLPA in a sense to go back and get what they want instead of what they agreed upon to get a third-party judge to give a verdict. So the NFL is pushing for what they wanted at the beginning of this process, and that is a full year indefinite suspension for Deshaun Watson minimum with an additional fine. So the NFL is pushing for an indefinite suspension of Deshaun Watson along with a fine. And this, if they do get it, an indefinite suspension will mean that Watson is out for the entirety of the 2022 season and possibly more of the 2023 season as well. So more news to come, of course, and as always, more news will continue day by day with the Deshaun Watson situation. And when we get a final verdict on his situation, when the NFL gets this appeal and they do go to court about it, I will keep you guys updated on all the news that I am able to get based off of these sources, based off of Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, Adam Schefter, Mike Garafolo, all of these reporters who report on it via their platforms, ESPN, NFL Network, websites, wherever you get your NFL news, wherever I get my NFL news. I will keep you guys updated as I continue to collect the news from these reporters, from the insiders, gain all of the knowledge, and then I will update you guys once I get the knowledge. And then once this does get concluded and Deshaun Watson faces a verdict indefinite. We will find out if it is what the NFL wants or if they're going to stick by these 6 games, or maybe they're going to come to some agreement in the middle. But I would assume and I hope that it is towards the NFL side. I do think he deserves to get at least a year suspension. I mean, we've seen Calvin Ridley get a year suspension for gambling when he wasn't even on the field. So if you look at the two and you compare them, this is way worse than just betting. Obviously, it's a very serious situation. So I do agree with the NFL that it should be a minimum of a year, if not more. And I do agree with the indefinite suspension. So we will see what comes of this, and hopefully we can get a final verdict on this situation. Now, the last bit of news that we did have on Wednesday, and that was that the Dallas Cowboys signed Anthony Barr, this per Mike Garafolo. So the Cowboys add another linebacker, which should help their defense just a little bit. But that is going to be it for this episode. Kind of a short one. Majority of it was with Hollywood Brown and Deshaun Watson, which were the 2 biggest news points we had. And obviously, at the beginning of the show, we had to shout out Kyle Brandt, who's one of my favorite NFL media. So once again, congratulations to Kyle Brandt on his new show, which will be Kyle Brandt's Basement, airing August 8th, which will be the next upcoming Monday, August 8th. So I am looking forward to watching Kyle Brandt on the streaming platforms come Monday, August 8th. But as always, if you did enjoy this video, drop a like. I would really appreciate it. And if you do enjoy my videos, you do enjoy my content, I will see you guys next time.